Here's another simplified problem that introduces its fractions, but it also has negative exponents in it. So the first thing we want to address are those negative exponents, and go ahead and rewrite those. So the numerator would become 1 minus 1 over a to a positive 2, and the denominator would become 1 plus 1 over a to a positive 1. Now, I realize it's tempting, but again, you cannot divide the ones and make those go away, and you can't cancel the a's yet. You have to have single quantities that are exactly the same, not just terms that are being added and subtracted. So the next job will be to get the top as a single fraction as well as the bottom as its own single fraction, so that we can work towards our goal of having fraction divided by fraction, and we can invert and multiply. So for the top, the 1 minus 1 over a squared, we have a denominator of a squared, so I'm just going to give a squared to the 1. And the same thing for the bottom. You have the 1 over a, so I'm just going to give the a to the 1 that's on the bottom. So what you have, going back here for the numerator, is a squared over a squared minus 1 over a squared. So we get a squared minus 1 over a squared. And then for the bottom, we have a over a plus 1 over a. So that becomes a plus 1 over a. And now we have single fraction divided by single fraction. So I'm going to take that top fraction, the a squared minus 1 over a squared, and divide it by, just like it looks, a plus 1 over a. And then I'm going to take the a squared minus 1 over a squared and multiply, and then again flip, do the reciprocal, favorite word, go with it, and that would be a over a plus 1. So what we have is a squared minus 1 times a over a squared times a plus 1. So the first thing you can note is that the a's that are being multiplied, I can cancel one of those with one of the ones on the bottom, and I'll just be left with a single a. But the quantities that are being added and subtracted, you have to pick out that the a squared minus 1 is the difference of squares, in that it's two terms that are being subtracted that are perfectly squared, and that will actually factor. If you remember back from our previous chapter, a plus 1, a minus 1, all over the a and the a plus 1 left on the bottom. So now you are welcome to cancel the a plus 1 quantities. And what you're left with is a minus 1 in the numerator over a in the denominator. Now that's a single fraction. I'm not going to say that you don't want to split it up, but you cannot cancel the a's here. If you split it up and do a over a minus 1 over a, you would be left with 1 minus 1 over a, which I think the a minus 1 over a is a better way to express the final answer for this problem.